a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Small Talk. Well, my guest today is our MLA for Chilliwack. I want to find out more about when he got involved in politics. Anyways, Daniel Coulter. Welcome to the show, Daniel, or Mr.
Hi.
Coulter.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me, Nancy.
So first of all, I want to know, at what point did you decide to get into politics?
I mean, I've always been into politics since I was a kid, very interested in it. My family's been very interested. You know, we have our obviously kitchen table talks and with my family and my extended family. And I didn't really want to get in politics, but I started volunteering for, you know, during elections for different political parties in my teens. And obviously, I changed the way I felt about different political parties as I went along. Then I was hurt in a industrial accident.
Okay.
And so I went back to university and took political science in university, political science and history. And so it got me very interested. Political scientists are like journalists, but in very, very slow motion, very long after the fact. And I really wanted to be involved in it while it was happening. And so, you know, looked at the different political parties, and I liked the NDP. And so I started volunteering for the NDP and then ran for school board. And I was on school board for 7 years. The last two, I was the chair of the Chilliwack School Board. And then in 2020, this opportunity came up to run to be the MLA for Chilliwack, and I won.
Very good. Congratulations for that. 2 years later. Now I know Kelly Paddington. And what do you do? The similar job as she does?
Yes, exactly. We're both MLAs for our different constituencies. She for Chilliwack Kent, and I for Chilliwack. And she has a job as a parliamentary secretary for gender equity. And then I'm a minister of state for infrastructure and transit alongside being the MLA for Chilliwack.
Oh, okay. So what does that job entail?
It entails supporting the Minister of Transportation when it comes to delivering large infrastructure projects, as well as some initiatives that we're doing around the province to increase transit ridership and also expanding transit services.
So does that mean like expanding something like into Chilliwack?
Yeah, so one of the major pieces I'm working on right now is the Fraser Valley Highway 1 corridor improvement, basically widening the highway, adding HOV lane on the highway, as well as some rapid bus lane, and as well as a multi-use pathway that would be going parallel to the highway, you know, for cyclists and other folks who use active transportation. And so that's one of my big projects. But another one is definitely to see BC Transit expand here in the Valley.
Right. Now, how is it affecting things with the bus strike?
I mean, that is a very difficult situation. We had and you probably maybe heard about this. We had a very seasoned labor negotiator, Vince Reddy, who I'm sure many of your listeners would have heard his name over the years, and he mediated between the company and the union. It is a contracted out service, so it's a private company. Yeah, so he mediated between them. He put out a report with suggestions for both the union and the company. And I know that the union yesterday, it was in the local news, that they had accepted his his suggestions, and I'm not sure if the company has yet, or if the company's still looking at the report.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a private company, but I should have.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have anyway. So what would you think are some of the greatest challenges with your job?
Oh, I mean, being away from home quite a bit is a bit of a challenge. It's both it's both, nice to go around and see places, but also, I also like to be home and sleep in my own bed as everyone else does. So I would say that's one of the largest challenges, and then just, not having a heck of a lot of time to yourself. I'm not trying to complain. I like definitely not complaining. I wouldn't do this job over any other. Right now, it's an incredible honor to represent the folks of Chilliwack in the Legislative Assembly. But I mean, you don't have a lot of time to yourself because you're going to events on the weekends, working quite hard during the week. When we're in Victoria, doing a lot of travel back and forth. And then, when we're in our home constituencies, just trying to get out there and talk to as many constituents as I can. And so that involves going to a lot of events and taking a lot of meetings and stuff.
Because people want to get to know you and speak to you, and I'm sure you want to respond, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I want to hear people's concerns. I want to hear, their priorities. I want to hear how they think our government is doing. I want to hear from folks about, the job we're doing and how I can improve things for Chilliwack.
Yeah, right. I think people don't always realize that they can call the NDP or go to your office and talk to maybe the secretary if you have questions. Some things like I can't remember. There was an NDP, an MLA years ago, and I found out that at that time I qualified for government assistance, like a supplement to my salary, to my income, right? And I would never have known had that person not told me, So there's things that you're aware of that the average citizen doesn't really know, right?
Absolutely, and you're always free to contact my office, and my office is a nonpartisan office, so it doesn't matter who you vote for, what political party you belong to, or anything like that. If you come down to my office and you're having issues with connecting with a government service, or being able to, as simple as being able to fill out the forms. Sometimes the forms can be very confusing. We can help you down at my office, as well as, you're always free to contact the office to let me hear your concerns about, about different things that you think could possibly be better.
Right, like you mentioned, I like that the particular government department, because sometimes people don't know who to contact, right?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we're good at hooking you up with whatever service that you need.
It's really important. How often do you have to be in Victoria?
This year, 20 some odd weeks. Yeah, so it's about 20 some odd weeks. We have a spring session and a fall session. The fall session's a little bit shorter than the spring session.
So when it's in session, are you traveling back and forth, or do you stay in Victoria?
I'll stay there for 4 days a week. So I go on a Sunday evening, and I leave the Thursday evening. Right when session closes on the Thursday, I race to the 7 o'clock ferry, and usually home by about 10 p.m. that night. And then I work in my constituency office here in Chilliwack on the Friday, and any events I have on the weekend, and then I'm off again on Sunday back to Victoria. So when you're in session, it's quite a slog, but once again, I'm not complaining about it.
No, but I asked a question, so it's only fair that, I would like you to answer. So I understand you're not complaining, just stating the facts, right? And I'm just thinking it could be a challenge sometimes getting the ferry, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I make reservations. Always make reservations. Yeah.
Okay, right. So, right. So now I know you attend local events. Like I know that you were with the Streams Foundation had an event at Evergreen Hall. I believe you were there, right?
Yeah.
I didn't introduce myself because people, well, most people know by now, but I have social anxiety, so I don't approach people, you know.
Oh, feel free to approach me anytime.
Well, next time I see you, I'm going to do that. You know, I mean, okay, I'm fine when people approach me, but I'm just not so good going in the other direction unless I'm with somebody, you know. I'll say, hey, get me over there.
Yeah, of course.
That's the way I can work. So now, so this is being taped on a Tuesday. So what's your upcoming agenda? Or what's on your calendar?
Well, upcoming this week, as far as events go, I have meetings for my ministry work all the time. I was in Langley this morning for a meeting, and I'll be honest with you, I can't tell you the whole week because I only look a day or two in advance.
Right.
Because I have so much reading to do ahead of all these meetings that I only really have time to read a day in advance. But tomorrow, for instance, I'm going to the Rotary Club to speak at the Rotary Club, and then in the evening I have another event that I can't remember what it is right now, and then yeah, so that's sort of amongst all my other meetings I have with constituents here, and then any meetings that I have with the ministry.
So when you're doing an event that is not doesn't involve your office or your the politics part of it, do you take your family?
Occasionally, but it's still work to go to these events, and that I'm going there to meet people and stuff. But yeah, sometimes if it's a family event, I'll bring my wife.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering because sometimes the mayor will show up with his wife at certain events, and sometimes he had I think it was his grandson. But that was just, I invited him here for sometimes in our building, I belong to the social committee, and we put on these dinners. So I invited him, and he came with his wife and his grandson. So that was pretty cool,
Yeah, at Canada Day, he was there with his grandson too.
Yeah, I think people like to see, yeah, at least I do, I'd like to see you out with your family, your wife, or wherever, because it makes people see you more as a human being rather than just, an MLA or with the NDP, right?
Yeah, well, I had my wife at Canada Day to almost all the events I went to. So yeah, we were out and about around town.
Right, very good. Yeah, very good. So now we talked about some of the challenges of your job. What are the things that you most enjoy, let's say, or the things you find the most satisfying?
When I can really get something done, that's going to really help British Columbians and Chilliwackians' lives, when we can get something done either in cabinet or caucus or the legislature, it really is satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, one of the greatest parts is being able to go into the legislature where only 87 people in the entire world, I don't even want to say just in British Columbia, because someone from an MLA from Alberta can't do this, but only 87 people in the world can go into the legislature and speak on behalf of their community, and that's an amazing privilege.
Wow, yeah.
And just go in there, and it's 3 stories of marble, and there's a red carpet and a guy wearing robes and a funny hat and the golden mace and stuff, and the history of what's involved there is amazing.
So in the future, do you continue doing the type of job you're doing, or do you have higher ambitions, or have you even thought about it?
I love what I'm doing for the people of Chilliwack right now. I'm very honored that the Premier has seen it fit to appoint me as a minister and put me in his cabinet. Mm-hmm. And at this time, I have no higher ambitions. I'm going to run in the next election, which is 2024. I guess this is my public announcement now.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't really have any other ambitions right now than just doing the best job I can.
Well, very good. Well, we're going to end it there. Thanks again for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. And just stay on camera for a second, okay?
Okay.
So everybody, you've been listening to Chilliwack MLA and member of the NDP here as well, Dan Coulter. And I thank you very much for watching this show, and take care. And hopefully you like what you hear, and you'll keep watching. In the meantime, peace out.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.